Hello, welcome to 4 Minutes Closer to God. My name is Doug. Recently had a discussion with my church regarding judgment or being a judge. So Matthew 7:1 in the Sermon on the Mount says, "Judge not that you be not judged." And what does that mean? So we went into a discussion regarding being judgmental. A lot of people have that kind of in them to be critical of other people. Fault finding is a good synonym for the idea, and also being hypercritical of anything that's not yourself. And so your way or the highway may be a way to look at it. The people who find themselves in this state of being critical of other people beyond measure lack empathy very often. And so the idea to overcome this judgmentalism would be to think in the other person's shoes. So walk a mile in that person's moccasins and let their life kind of flow into yours so you have a better understanding. It's more empathetic regarding what they're actually going through. And so for Judge Jesus, he knows everything and can take into account all the different factors where we don't know everything. And so having someone who is experiencing a lot of difficulty and hasn't had much sleep, for example, is very tired, that person may not respond in a way you would consider appropriate in certain situations. And so those people, you might bring judgment to bear against them, but God is gracious to us and we are to be gracious to other people. Matthew 7:2 says, "For with whatever judgment you judge, you will be judged, and with whatever measure you measure, it will be measured to you." And so also in Matthew, but earlier, Jesus says, "As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I don't seek my own will, but the will of my Father who sent me." Words to the wise from Jesus. He had every capacity in his state of being the Son of God and second person of the Trinity to bring judgment to bear, but he listened to the Father. And so our spiritual side needs to take over in that, asking God, what should I do in this situation? How should I respond? And I certainly am not one who has done that well. So the other question that we would have is regarding discernment. So the difference between being a judge and judgmental, but also taking a time to make a considered opinion and decision about something, that could also apply to being discerning. So where judgmental is negative sounding, discerning is positive sounding, and that is bringing our intellect and perceptions to bear upon a situation or something that's occurring. And so our senses give us input, and with that input, then we can make a decision about something, but also it's discriminating between colors, between looks, fashions, for example, if this food is still good to eat or not, those sorts of things. And so being discerning, especially in a spiritual sense, will allow us to avoid Leviathan, avoid demonic, and stay away from places and other people who would bring this evil to bear upon our lives, and from whom we would have to break ties that would be established in that conversation, dialogue, interaction. And so being judgmental It's not a good thing. Being discerning is. And being discerning with our five senses is great, but being discerning with our spiritual sense is better.